Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Toilets and Titles. John, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm ready to celebrate pre-draft eve. This is it. Like we're the
Tell me
night
about it, man.
before.
It is like it's basically it's Draftmas Eve for all of
Yes,
us who are big time NFL fans. The draft is tomorrow. Personally, I'm exhausted, man. I've been working, or we've all been working here at Toilets and Titles on so
hmm
much various draft content, and I've enjoyed it a lot. I think we all have. We've all really enjoyed it, and but now it's time to see what the final results are going to be, and that starts tomorrow. But here tonight, right now, we are going to do our final Wednesday night mock draft. And originally, I was going to do, hey
of
Chris, yep,
course
you
you
can
can,
join,
Chris. We'll
buddy.
get you in.
Yeah, we're going to get you in, buddy. Get you in. And originally, we were going to do. Originally we were going to do and hey Steve, how's it going, my friend? Thanks for joining us, buddy. Originally we were going to do all 7 rounds because we each week we've added an extra round. Originally we were going to do all 7 rounds, but you know what, I think we're just going to keep it to, as you know, as John's recommendation was, Coach Sheps, we're just going to keep it to the first round tonight. We're just going to go over, based on all the accumulated information we've received over the past few weeks, all the updated news that we've consumed, for most, for a lot of teams, let's just try to make the picks that we think they're actually going to be for each team in the first round. And what I've been hearing, it sounds like quarterbacks are going to drop after all. And all along, I've been saying that I think there's going to be at least one quarterback taken in in the like the top five, and probably two in the top 10. There may only be one that goes like in the top 10. So
hmm
you may get your man, John. You may get your man, Malik Willis. We'll see. With Chris's
I
videos.
can
Oh, go ahead, man.
yeah, I can pretty much while you're doing that, getting Chris in, I will pretty much tell you, and I've said this on numerous streams, I will go full Yinzer. Like on the I will be ordering the jersey, boom,
You
done.
should.
Like I'm
You
going to,
should.
because like here's the thing, man. I missed the boat on Ben Roethlisberger. Like I didn't really like get into him until like 2007.
Yeah.
Back. I mean, back when actually no, it was probably 2006 when he was just like showing up, just like balling, like, and he had those great teams in the early 2000s, late mid 2000s
They
for the
were.
Steelers, like where they were amazing. So,
They were.
yep.
Yeah,
So,
I hear it, man. It was long. It's funny because both of our quarterbacks, my team had drafted Eli, and then Roethlisberger went a little while later to the Steelers, and that was just a classic quarterback draft class. Just here, I found Chris's email. Chris, I'm emailing you the link to the show right now, buddy.
we should just, well, in the future when we do things like that and we know Chris wants to be involved, we should just include him. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I was ready for him to. Oh, that's right. Steve Evans is reminding me, Joe, don't forget to tell Chris what we had talked about. I will. I got a little surprise for Chris when he comes on. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris heard us talking about it yesterday. I think he was watching some of our shows. So, but Chris, I did email you the address. Um,
so yeah, let's talk about the first round tomorrow, because like I'm curious to see if like what ESPN. Oh, I hear myself.
hey, Chris's
Finally.
videos.
Because like I'm curious to see if
Oh,
like.
now I'm getting echo on you.
Yep, we're getting some
Chris,
echo. Go ahead and mute yourself there, Chris.
Hello? Sorry.
Hey,
We
Chris. No,
gotcha.
it's okay. Chris? Do you have earphones?
No. I can get some on.
Okay. Well, John, go ahead.
So yeah, like we talked about it last week. I think that like last week was kind of what would we call it, white noise week, where we thought that like we'd see all these crackpot draft rumors and draft trades. Like I saw one yesterday, had the Chiefs trading up with the Texans to get a wide receiver. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I still don't see the need for the Chiefs getting a wide receiver, other than they don't have Tyreek Hill. I mean,
I know. I remember you said that yesterday, and I do think they have a need for wide receiver. I'm not into Juju. I'm not into Hardman if they still have that guy. I do think they really should. But if I were them, I wouldn't be trading up either. The
Yeah.
Chief for the if I'm the Chiefs, like there's enough wide receiver talent out there, and the Chiefs do have a few picks. Even at the end of the first round, I think they can get themselves a good wide receiver. I agree with you.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. It's probably going to be bonkers, and there will
I
be
think
lots
so.
of and in fact, like earlier in the chat, we were talking about not doing necessarily a drinking game, but doing I don't know, something obscure when Roger Goodell tries to appease the crowd,
Yeah,
or makes a condescending
yeah,
mildly weird comment to the crowd, because
yep.
he's Mr. Popular. Let's just call it for what it is. He is Mr. Popular.
There's all different types of side bets you can make, definitely. On
Mhm.
And hopefully Rich Gonzalez, who's in Las Vegas this week for work, Rich
Yes.
Frito Bandito. Hopefully he can chime in live from Vegas. That'd be pretty cool. Some live reporting. That'd be awesome. Hey Chris, can you hear us, buddy?
Yeah, I'm getting something.
Okay, you sound good, man. Hey, listen. So Chris, what we're gonna do this time, instead of doing 7 rounds, we're just gonna do the first round. But we're just gonna just try to take our accumulated knowledge, all the updated news that we've had on which teams are probably most interested in certain players and positions, and we're just gonna try to nail down just the first round in terms of see how accurate we can get it, just
All
doing it
right.
ourselves. But we can do it combined. I'll let like I'll pick for the Giants myself. John can pick for his Steelers, and I know you got the Bears. You're a Bears fan, and they don't have a first round pick, but we're gonna do this together, and we're just gonna focus on the first round.
There we go.
All good? All good,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, but no, that's all right. Hey, there's something else, Chris, we wanted to say too. Is that listen, man, you're like our number one fan here at 12 Titles, and we really appreciate you being here on like all of our shows and tuning in all the time. So what we wanted to offer you is I'm not sure if you're familiar with our Frankenstank League. It's called Frankenstank, kind of like Frankenstein, but it's called Frankenstank. But if you're into fantasy football, we have our own fantasy football league that we started, I think, 2 years ago actually, and it's got like 5 divisions in it. We actually have players from all over the world, including Europe, I believe, Europe and Australia. So from all over the world, and we're up to 5 divisions. And normally we charge $25 to participate. We wanted to give you if you'd like to participate, we'd like to get you in there for free.
All right. Yeah. That's
Are you
that's
into,
awesome.
are you into, are you into fantasy football?
Yeah.
Cool. This is different. We've
Definitely.
got different rules to differentiate ourselves from other leagues. So this is a pro thievery league, and that is basically it's a vampire league where if you win that week against your opponent, you can steal one of your opponent's starters. Of course, they can steal from you if they beat you, but there's other rules too. But we actually made a video on some of the updated rules a few weeks ago. There's going to be a new video because we've just probably in May we're going to do it. We're going to do a new video explaining some of the new rules that we've instituted. So it's a different league unlike you've ever seen before. But like I said, you're in for free. We wanted to get you in for free because you've just been a great contributor here to the show, my friend.
All right.
All right, sounds cool, Chris. Yeah,
That'd
we'll
be
be having the
amazing.
draft. Yeah, we'll be having the draft sometime in August, but I think you'll enjoy it, man. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys, let's do it. All right, guys. So we're doing the first round only for the viewers out there. We're doing the first round only, and what I've been hearing for Jacksonville, you guys, what do you think? What do you think, Jacksonville? Who do you think they'd be taking? So far, it's been Aiden Hutchinson mock to the Jaguars pretty consistently, as we've been doing, as this mock simulator's been doing, as I've
Hmm.
seen on other big boards and all over the world. Um, Trayvon Walker has been mentioned over the past 2 weeks more and more with Jacksonville. But I've also heard today, I forgot who it was, but like 2 people in the industry that I respect a lot. I heard them on a podcast. I had one person say that there's a 3-way split. The new head coach of the Jaguars, Doug Peterson, wants Iquanu, the offensive tackle. Uh, the GM, Balky, I think is his name. He wants Hutchinson, and no, he wants Thibodeau. and then the owner wants Hutchinson. But the belief is that the owner is going to give the new head coach what he wants, which would be a Aquanu. That's not written in stone. I'm just throwing that out there because it's been like pretty much Hutchinson all along. What do you guys think? Do you guys think like Aquanu is like a real possibility? And that's what's being reported, but it would definitely change things up a little bit.
I think Khan is the lazy man's Jerry Jones as far as control goes.
Yeah,
so like,
he is. You're right.
I mean, he hired Urban Meyer, like, and then he like lasted what, half the season. So like,
Worst hire ever.
That's just franchise. That franchise is just it wafts like a fart in the wind. So
Yeah.
I'm basically, I think it's gonna be obscure. I don't think it's gonna be Hutchinson. The more I think about it, the more it's gonna be Aquanu. It's gonna be something obscure. They have to protect Lawrence. Lawrence was kind of, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with protecting your young quarterback.
Yeah.
What do you think,
they have
Chris?
to do something.
My take on it is, if you need that player, then just go for it.
Yeah.
Like if you need that position, just go for it.
Hey, listen, they need offensive line help. They do need tackle help. They do have
this player.
Yeah, they do have a pretty good tackle. I forgot what his name was, and they re-signed him. They do have a pretty good tackle, the Jaguars, but you could always use another one. You got to protect your young quarterback. And listen, Hutchinson's a need too. Whether it's Hutchinson or Thibodeau, edge is a need. But you know what? What do you guys? Are you guys okay with me taking Aquanu from the Jaguars? And that would kind of shake things up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Let's do it because I think tomorrow there's going to be a lot of shaking up. It's going to be very, very like.
This draft's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Let's call it for what it is. Crazy.
We got Nino saying Hutch. Listen, Nino, I think they should take Hutch. I love Hutch, but you know what? Because we've given Hutch to the Jaguars every single draft so far, we are going to shake it up, and we're going to give him Aquanu. And I don't think it's a crazy stretch. That's based on two of the smarter people in the industry that I was listening to today. I forgot their names. They're on a Giants podcast. All right, let's give him Aquanu. Let's give him Aquanu. Because Aquanu, great thing about him is that he should be able to be a good tackle, and I have no doubt that he will be. But you know what? He could also play guard too. Like if he didn't pan out at tackle, he'll be wind up being a good guard. He plays really angry. I love that guy. I wouldn't do it at number one, but I kind of get it too. I kind of get it. People are really high on him. All right, so we got the Detroit Lions now. We got the Detroit Lions. Hutchinson sitting there. Trayvon Walker apparently has been, and I don't follow the Lions all that closely, but I hear Trayvon Walker is up there with Hutchinson big time with the Lions. They have a lot of interest in him. And the thing about Trayvon Walker, people are kind of like mocking the idea of him going this high. The fact is that this guy brings a lot of versatility, and he does have a lot of untapped talent in terms of his ceiling so far. This guy is a guy who can play in a 4-3. He could play in a 3-4. He could play on the interior. He could be an edge rusher. The guy is extremely versatile. So he is a monster. And so Hutchinson falling to Detroit, just to number 2 would be like gold for them. But I've been hearing Trayvon Walker associated with them quite a bit. But it could also be because they wouldn't expect Hutchinson to fall to them. But what are your feelings on this, guys?
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
I threw it to you and you weren't ready.
Yeah, I wasn't ready.
That's okay. Here's the thing. I think if Hutchinson falls, they can't go wrong with either Hutchinson or Walker. I mean, that will really shake things up. So I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think they're going to pick Walker.
Yeah.
If they draft Aquanu at 1, the Jaguars do, then I think the Lions are going to pick Walker. So.
Yeah. And Chris, I think I heard you say Neal. Did you say Neal?
No. I mean, if Aiden Hutchinson falls to the Lions, I feel like they just gotta draft him.
But I agree with you.
To do.
I agree with you. And this is, and it makes the most sense. And this is supposed to be as per John's instructions, as per at Coach Sheps's instructions. It's supposed to make it like what we actually think it's going to be. Really nail it down. try to get as close as as to the final big board in the NFL as possible. But I want to mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna no, I got it. Let's see. Hutchinson. No, you know what? We'll go Hutchinson, guys. We'll go Hutchinson. I can't see him dropping to the Texans. I can't see him dropping that far.
Because we know how well they do with defensive ends in Texas.
Let's see. All right, Aiden Hutchinson it is for Detroit. Detroit, congratulations. Okay, Houston Texans. And keep in mind, Houston, we're not going to do any trade backs here because we have no idea what's going to happen with that. No trade backs in this round, in this scenario. Houston does have 2 picks. They have 3 and they have 13. What I've been hearing with Houston is I haven't really heard too much talk about offensive tackle. They do have Laramie Tunsil. I've heard some talk that they could seek to trade him. But you do have Evan Neal out there. You also have Charles Cross. I haven't heard too much chatter about tackle for Houston, even though could still make sense. You've got Thibodeau out there. I've been hearing Sauce to the Texans. Nino, I know. I hear Sauce mocked. I hear Sauce and now Stingley mocked to the Texans pretty consistently at 3. So let's stick with cornerback. Let's stick with cornerback actually here for Houston because I've been hearing Gardner very consistently more and more to being mocked to Houston, and I've heard Stingley over the past week. So let's keep it to the cornerbacks. What do you guys think here? Stingley had that amazing 2019 season, but that was 2019. After that, the wheels fell off the track with the LSU program. Bergeron, or whatever his name was, the head coach, being outed, all the nonsense that was going over there, and I forgot exactly what it was. But that program fell apart. Stingley was still there, pretty much the last remaining star piece. And then last year, he was dealing with a Lisfranc injury, which is a major injury to the foot, and he was basically trying to play through it as well. So assuming the medicals are fine, like he looks like he's on track to I know Nino says Sauce has 0 TDs allowed. But think about the competition that Stingley's going against in 2019, their championship year. And the thing is that it was 2 years ago, and I'm bringing up arguments that other people are making. So you got Stingley, who had like a fantastic year against real high caliber competition pretty much every other week, at least in 2019. And then you got Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati, who led up 0 touchdowns this year. And they're both press man coverage. And now their new head coach in Houston is Lovie Smith, who likes press man coverage. So, you got 2 quality cornerbacks to choose from here. Who would you guys want to go with? Sauce, as Nino says, or do you guys want to go with Stingley? Chris, what do you think?
I'd probably go Sauce here.
Okay.
Yeah,
John,
Sauce.
what do you think?
Yeah.
All right. And Nino was one of our newest members up here at Toss and Titles. He's pumping out videos pretty much like every other day now. He's doing the Dynasty Diamonds. He's given his opinion on like just really good like diamonds in the rough to look for in fantasy. And he's also pretty much controlling our Twitter account now too. He's always putting out like great polls. So hats off to you, Nino. The great job you've been doing, my friend. So listen, it looks like it's consensus. Let's make it Sauce for the Texans. All right, the Jets. I hear you got a lot of good players here, and I've heard these names associated with the Jets quite a bit. Evan Neal, Kayvon Thibodeau, Kyle Hamilton, but I've seen Hamilton consistently mocked to the Jets at 10. The Jets could also use a wide receiver at 10 as well. But you got Neal, Thibodeau, Hamilton, Trayvon Walker, and Charles Cross. Not really so much Cross, but I'd say Neal, Thibodeau, Hamilton, Trayvon Walker, and Jermaine Johnson are the names that I've heard most consistently associated with the Jets at 4. Besides Gardner, you also have Stingley out there too. I've heard Gardner's name associated with the Jets, but not so much Stingley. But the Jets need a lot of help on defense. They do need a star cornerback. They do need an edge rusher, and they could use some help at tackle as well because the guy they drafted 2 years ago. We don't really know what's going on with him. He's been out of shape. He's been injured a lot. So you can't really go wrong. John, what do you think about the Jets? You got Neil, Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson. And listen, you got Kyle Hamilton out there as well. So I have seen him consistently mock the Jets, usually at 10, but you never know. And Stingley.
Mm-hmm. I think it's not out of the realm of possibility that they draft Thibodeau.
Yeah, definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
That's where you're leaning?
That's where I'm leaning.
All right. How about you, Chris?
But it is the Jets, and they'll do something stupid. So,
hey, Steve Evans saying Walker can't keep dropping. I like Walker a lot, Steve. I like Walker a lot. And if my Giants wound up with him at number 5, which I haven't really heard his name is so associated with them, I wouldn't be disappointed. I mean, I'd like to have Hutchinson, which isn't going to happen. I'd like to have Thibodeau, but I do like Walker's ceiling a lot. But also at picks 4 and 5, I think it's kind of time to be a little safe. Chris, what do you think for the Jets between Neil, Thibodeau, Hamilton, Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson, Stingley?
Honestly, for number 10, I feel like they may go Garrett Wilson.
Oh, at number 10? I think you might be
number
right.
10.
Yep. What do you think here at number 4? And the Jets need offensive tackle, edge, cornerback, you name it. And you got quality players here.
I mean, probably Evan Neal.
I think Evan Neal?
It's probably the best option, yeah.
All right. Let's see if anyone else is on the board saying. Looks like Steve Evans is saying Walker. All right. So we got one for Thibodeau, one for Evan Neal, one for Walker.
I think Walker would just wreak havoc. So you know what? Put Walker there.
All right. Yeah. Steve Evans, you're getting what you want. You're getting what you want. You're going to get Trayvon Walker to the Jets. All right. My Giants are up. And I want your opinions on this too. I know I'm the in-house Giants fan over here, guys. But
my regards.
I could be a blinded fan. Giants have needs all over the place, just like the Jets. They could use another tackle. Evan Neal's still out there. They could certainly use an edge. Kayvon Thibodeau is out there. Still, Jermaine Johnson's out there as well. Giants could use a cornerback. You got Stingley out there. I've been hearing his name associated with the Giants more and more. Stingley. So, what do you guys think? Evan Neal, Thibodeau. Oh, I'm sorry. I've heard Charles Cross too a lot associated with the Giants. So you got Evan Neal, Cross, Thibodeau, Jermaine Johnson, Stingley.
How do you feel about this Malik Willis to the Giants?
You know what? We've done Malik Willis a few times. Nino saying Johnson to the G-men. I love me some Jermaine Johnson. You know what? I've been saying, Chris, that I think there's a 20 to 25% chance that the Giants could go with Malik Willis, because apparently when Joe Shane, who's the GM of the Giants now, when he was still assistant GM of the Bills, apparently he had a slew of Bills scouts at Liberty checking out Malik Willis. Why he would do that, I don't really understand, unless I know he was in talks with the Giants for a while about possibly becoming the GM. You know, maybe that's why he was doing it, because obviously the Bills aren't looking for a quarterback. And they have, of course, done their due diligence at least, and they've met with Malik Willis, and they brought him in for an interview as well. So I think it's a possibility. Steve Evans is saying Cross to the Giants. Yeah, I like the Willis thinking. I just throw it out as a possibility. And I don't think they're going to be taking Daniel Jones's. They're not going to be picking up that 5th-year contract. If Jones happens to ball out next year, if he happens to, then they'll probably tag him for the following year. But you know, you have a quarterback sitting here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pass on the quarterback. See if we can get him to fall to Pittsburgh. See if we can manipulate that for our man. That's Johnny
bold.
Trees.
That's bold.
You know what? All right, guys. Let me see. So, any feelings, Chris? Any feelings on who the Giants might take here? You got Neal and Cross at tackle. You got Thibodeau and Jermaine Johnson at edge. You got Stingley at cornerback. You got Malik Willis. Who do you think?
I honestly think Malik Willis would be the best option.
Do you think it's a realistic option?
Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel Jones is just not the quarterback.
It's all fair, man. All fair. And how about you, John? Who do you think?
Don't take my Willis from me.
Well, we're realistic here.
All right, let's go Cross. I think Cross would be a good fit.
All right, so you agree with Steve Evans? You know what? Yep. I'm gonna go Cross as well. I think they want the Giants, even with Barkley. I think they're going to be the Bills have been mostly like a 70% passing team. So they've been passing 70% of the time. That's with Josh Allen, but they do have Brian Dable, who was Josh Allen's offensive coordinator. And even though they have Barkley, Barkley hasn't been the same running back he's been his first year. He is an effective receiver out of the backfield. I think that they're going to use him more and more like that. I do think they're going to want to just pass the hell out of the ball, regardless of what Daniel Jones. We'll see what Daniel Jones can do with an offensive coordinator like Dable. But I do think they're going to want to. I do think they're going to want to pass the ball more, and I think they're going to want to add to that offensive line, which they need to do anyway. And I really heard Cross's name associated with the Giants more than Neal, and which would kind of make sense. If they want to pass the ball, they need a pass protector. Charles Cross is a really good pass protector. Going Charles Cross. Okay, just like Steve Evans said. All right, guys. So we're up to the Panthers now. We need a quarterback. It's funny. Malik Willis has been mocked to the Panthers a lot, but I hear Kenny Pickett's name associated a lot with
the. I said last night there is a Pitt Carolina Panthers connection. The owner is a Pitt guy, so it just makes sense that Pickett falls here. Is a little high for Pickett, maybe. I would.
It actually makes more sense that the quarterback you want for the Steelers goes to the Panthers right now. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead and rain on my parade, Joe. That's okay.
But I don't know though. You've got Matt Rule is apparently in trouble. Not trouble, but his job is is on the line. Apparently, by all accounts. So he might not have a chance. Malik Willis definitely needs to sit on the bench for, if not the entire year, for most of the year. He's not ready to play in the NFL, I would think. Go ahead, John.
Well, here's my contention with Matt Rule being on the hot seat. He's on a very, very, very hot seat. Mm-hmm. And so, if they have other needs at 6, why would they, go and just waste a quarterback? I mean, waste it on a quarterback knowing that, if they pick Willis at 6, he's going to have to sit a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so, if you look at their other needs, at their other needs, they could draft Evan Neal. They can do
Thibodeau's out there.
Yeah, Thibodeau. I mean, Thibodeau. I mean, we used to mock him early top 5.
Deservedly so. Deservedly so.
And now he's fallen from the grace.
He could wind up being. At the end of the day, in a few years, when you look back, he could wind up being the most talented player in this draft. Thibodeau, and that's fair. But yeah, I just uncertain because, listen, I agree. I think they need improvements on other areas of the team. And Steve Evans, I like Ritter a lot too. His name has been hot, and I think deservedly so, especially in this draft class where no one, I don't think, really separates themselves. Everyone's got their strengths and the weaknesses, whether it's Malik Willis and his cannon that can throw it 100 yards, whether it's Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, Ritter. You can even throw Carson Strong there too. Might be the best pure pocket passer in the draft. Everyone's looking at the athletic upside for most of these for these quarterbacks, but you got Carson Strong, who coach has been really high on, and I think rightfully so. That at the end of the day, the quarterback's main function is to distribute that ball effectively, and you don't really have to be mobile. That's more like icing on the cake. You do got to be able to manipulate the pocket. Feel the pressure.
Who do they have at wide receiver? They could draft a wide receiver here.
That's a good point too.
There's a lot of things they can do.
But they could use more at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, guys, what do you think? Chris, do you have any strong opinion on where the Panthers would go?
Well, what's the Panthers' biggest needs that they?
Good question. Good question, young man. Panthers. Quarterback, offensive tackle. Evan Neal's still out there. They've got their for quarterback. They've got the pick of quarterbacks. They're all out there right now. Offensive tackle Neal is still out there. Center, you got what's his name? The center out of Iowa. My brain farting on him. A really good center. Guard, there's some good guards out there. And cornerback, you got Stingley out there. I'm actually kind of surprised they've got cornerback listed as a need. I think Carolina actually is a pretty good secondary. Why am I brain farting on the center? Who's the center again out of this big? Oh, Tyler Linderbaum. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He's out there. I can't see him going this high. But you have some good guards, really good guards in Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green. But you got Evan Neal out there. You got Kayvon Thibodeau. Even though they're not showing edge as a need for the Panthers. No, they're not showing edge as a need for the Panthers. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I do think quarterback is realistic.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably either be Willis or Pickett.
I'm contending Pickett.
Yeah,
but again,
it's possible, man. He's probably a safer pick than Willis.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's give him Kenny Pickett. I'm going to give him a quarterback because if I'm the owner of the team, I'm saying, hey, man, whether you're my head coach, Matt Rule, beyond this year or whatever, we need a quarterback. So I'm taking. If I'm the owner of the team at this point, I'm telling my head coach and the GM, we're taking a quarterback. So I'd step in and be like, listen, the franchise needs a young quarterback. So that's it.
Right.
Steve Evans felt like the Panthers might take Neal. Okay, New York Giants. What were you going to say, Chris?
For this one, I'd say the Giants would either take Evan Neal, or the Williams, or Garrett Wilson.
Oh, you think the Giants would take a wide receiver, or they double down on offensive tackle?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, John? I've heard Stingley's name associated, and I got news for you, actually, Chris. I wouldn't mind. We've been so bad on the offensive line for 10 years. I wouldn't mind if they double down, take Cross, put Charles Cross, put him at right tackle, take Evan Neal, put him as a starting guard, and he can be the swing tackle in case one of the other starting tackles get injured. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. We've been so bad.
And maybe Daniel Jones will turn into the next Eli Manning.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe he'll be even better. But
No.
but you've got Evan Neal, you got Thibodeau. I don't think Giants would take Kyle Hamilton. I like Kyle Hamilton, but I don't think he's going to go to the Giants. You got Neal, Thibodeau. Malik Willis is still out there. Jermaine Johnson. I've heard Jermaine Johnson and Stingley a lot, associated with the Giants a lot. But Thibodeau's out there.
It's probably,
I don't think that. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
It's probably either Evan Neal or Garrett Wilson.
You think Garrett Wilson, huh?
Or
it's
Evan
not
Neal.
out of the realm of possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility. How about you, John?
I think either Stingley or Thibodeau at this point.
Stingley or Thibodeau. I agree with you. I think they're going to show some love to their new defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale. And you know what? This scares me. I think the guy is top 10 potential talent. I'm just worried, based on what I was saying before, that he doesn't have good film over the past 2 years for various reasons. But I've heard his name associated a lot with the Giants. Wink Martindale, DC for the Giants, loves press corners. He really relies on the secondary pressing, just shutting down the opponent's wide receivers for like 2 or 3 seconds while he sends pretty much everyone after the quarterback. I'm going to give the Giants Derek Stingley. All right, guys. So we are up to Atlanta Falcons. Another team that needs a quarterback. They need a lot. The Falcons are very much like Jacksonville. And you can say the Giants and the Jets too. Needs all over the place. You've got they don't have a quarterback. They're going to need a quarterback. Let's look at the Falcons' needs, but it's pretty much everywhere, including quarterback. All right, edge, wide receiver, running back, cornerback, and linebacker. Edge, wide receiver. I can't see them going wide receiver, receiving a weapon 2 years in a row. With a high first round pick, I just can't see that. Running back, I can't see that being an option at this high. Cornerback, I don't think there are any cornerbacks left for them. I mean, there are some good ones, but not top 10 talent. Linebacker, I can't see that happening. You've got Kayvon Thibodeau. Go ahead, Chris. What were you saying?
Thibodeau. He's still
Thibodeau.
available.
Yeah, Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Over a quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Johnny, what do you think? Johnny Trees.
Yeah, Thibodeau.
I'm with you guys. I think it's safe, man. He falls to number 8, the Falcons. All right. We're up to the Seahawks, another quarterback needy team. But let's check out the team needs anyway. All right, guys, Seattle. Here in the bottom corner, quarterback, offensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback. All right. You got Evan Neal. You got Malik Willis. And I can't really see them taking a linebacker right now. Cornerback, there's some good ones, but I don't think they're really worth all that, being picked this high. Andrew Booth, Khair Elam, Trent McDuffie. You got good linebackers out there, but I can't see Devin Lloyd going this high or Nakobe Dean. But you got Evan Neal out there. Seattle's had consistent offensive line problems. You got Malik Willis. You got Matt Corral.
What about Jordan Davis here?
Think they're going to go I'll tell you right now, I think their fan base would burn the city down if they took – nothing against Jordan Davis, but given their needs at quarterback and given their needs at on the offensive line, I think they'd burn Seattle down. That's nothing against Jordan Davis. I know you love Jordan Davis.
So, just looking at, some of the, the crazy predictions and, the white noise era of the draft, Todd McShay writes a little blurb that they're going to take Jordan Davis here at 9.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah. So
he's a monster. He is a monster, that guy.
They really do need defensive help as much as they do need quarterback. And to be honest with you, the quarterback class next year is so much better. I could see them mailing it in, which is un-Seahawk like, but I think I can see, good old coach, just basically mailing it in because I mean he's what, 70, I don't know how old
he's
he
in
is.
his early 70s.
Pete Carroll's he's great, but I mean at some point they need to do a little bit of a regime change.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Chris? Who do you think the Seahawks? Who do you have in mind here for them? You got Evan Neal, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, wide receivers, Jordan Davis.
I would say the wide receiver core is fine. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are really good.
Yeah, they are.
I would say probably you would get offensive line to help the quarterback.
Who is their quarterback? Oh, they got Andrew Luck. That's right. I don't think they have anyone else competing against him.
I mean, they could take Willis, but I don't think
they got the Broncos backup from last year.
They got Andrew. They got. Did I say Andrew Luck? I meant Drew Lock. Drew Lock.
Yeah,
Drew Lock. Yeah,
that's it. All right, so we think Evan Neal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
cool.
Yep, go for it.
Because you know what, John, and what you're saying, I agree with you. They could kind of mail it in for this year, but getting yourself a premier tackle for next year, have a year's growth under his belt and getting ready for if they do take another quarterback next year, they've got their tackle to help protect that guy. Who's this? Yeah. All right, calm down. I meant Drew Lock. Drew Lock.
Simmer down.
Calm down.
No cussing.
I like it. I'm not even going to show the other comment to the viewers here that KEVO put up. Taking it a little too seriously. All right, guys, let's move on to the Jets.
It is a mock draft. Mock draft.
How dare you mock us?
You can mock us making a mock draft, but that wasn't French there, dude. Fella.
That's what he's doing.
Kevo or KEVO, I'm glad you're in the chat, man. I'm glad you joined us. So KEVO or Kevo, if you have an opinion here, Jets, number 10, who do you think they're taking? We've got still on the board, we got Kyle Hamilton, Jordan Davis, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, Jamison Williams. And now I really think that you're going to see the Jets go for they could still use some offensive line help too. You got Trevor Penning out there, offensive tackle, plays real angry. You also have you have Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green, really good guards. You have the center Tyler Linderbaum. The big board here has him ranked at 34. I wouldn't pay attention to that. I think Linderbaum is a real possibility for the Jets at 10. You do have Kyle Hamilton, who's been mocked to the Jets quite often at number 4, but man, they need a wide receiver big time to go along with Elijah Moore. What was that, Chris?
Kivo said to go Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah,
I think it's good.
that's a good pick.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm good with that.
cool with me too. All right, Kevo.
The Jets pick number 4.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson.
Ooh.
What do you think, Garrett Wilson or Drake London?
Yeah, Steve thinks Jets will take London.
Ooh, I'll tell you what though. We're gonna go with. Oh, Nino says Drake London too, but I'll tell you what, guys. I like it, but Kevo said Wilson. We're gonna go with Wilson, and I gotta make it up to Kevo too because I said Andrew Luck instead of Drew Lock before. So I'm gonna go with. I want to make it up to him. And I think both are realistic possibilities. The Jets got to help out their young quarterback and get him another weapon besides Elijah Moore. All right, guys. Number 11, the Commanders, the Washington Commanders. We'll look at team. Hey, listen, they do have a quarterback in what's his name from the Colts and the Eagles. Brain farting right now. Who do they trade for from the Colts? Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
He's probably a placeholder. What's that, Chris?
They ain't going to command anyone this year.
Yeah. Listen, they've got talent, but all right, they're showing here on the needs. They're showing tight end. We don't have any first round tight ends in this draft. Quarterback, guard. There are some good guards out there. Safety and cornerback. Interesting. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton's name has been associated more and more with Washington, along with the Jets, but I've seen his name associated with Washington quite a bit. I could see them going for another wide receiver. They got some decent wide receivers, but I could see them adding to a stable there. They do need cornerback help. And, Kyrie Alam is out there. Trent McDuffie's out there. Andrew Booth is out there. Jordan
What about
Davis.
Drake London?
Yeah. They do need secondary help, though, big time. Kyle Hamilton's out there. What do you guys think? John, who do you think? Nino saying pair Chase with Jermaine Johnson. Man, I don't want to see that in the NFC.
That's dangerous.
He thinks Commanders are going to go Hamilton if he's there. I'm kind of with you. Because they really do need secondary help. They really need it big time. That was the weakness of their defense, was their secondary.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Chris is saying Drake London. Is that what you're saying, Chris?
I agree with you.
No, I was just mocking him for saying Drake London.
Gotcha. Johnny, what are you thinking?
Listen, Chris.
I'm just messing.
I think that's okay. I think Hamilton, man. I'm
going Hamilton. I'm going with you guys, and I'm going with the chat. Hamilton it is. The Vikings. The Vikings need cornerback. They need secondary help as well. I know that for a fact.
Team.
Yeah, they're in. Chris is a big Bears fan, and their Vikings are in his division. They need cornerback, defensive tackle. Hello, Jordan Davis. Safety. You still got Daxton Hill out there. Edge. You still got Jermaine Johnson out there. And linebacker. You got your pick of linebackers out there with Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean. So cornerback, defensive tackle, safety, edge, linebacker.
What do you think about this hot take? The Vikings will go Malik Willis because Kirk Cousins is getting old.
That is a hot take. I like it. You're killing Johnny Trees over here, though. We're trying to will Malik Willis to his Steelers, but I don't think
that will
last to
not
20.
happen.
But you know what? Chris, I like it. And Kibo is saying he doesn't think the Vikings are going to let Jermaine Johnson fall, and the Vikings could use some help on defense. I like the art, Chris. I like the thinking and I like the argument, and it's sound. It is sound rationale in terms of Willis going to the Vikings. And imagine him. That dude could throw it 80 yards, like running laterally. He could throw it 80 yards. Can you imagine playing in a dome? You could probably throw it through the roof. What do you guys think? I'm not going to go quarterback right now, unless someone else says quarterback. If someone else says Malik Willis besides Chris, then maybe I'll go that route. But if John, do you think they're going Malik Willis or no? Because you just want them to fall to the Steelers.
It's not that I want them to fall. I just don't think it's like realistic.
Yeah, I'm probably with you. But Chris, I do like that thinking. I do like the thinking. All right, what do you guys think of Jermaine Johnson, Jordan Davis? You look at their team needs again. The Vikings. Where are you? Okay, cornerback, defensive tackle, safety, edge, linebacker. I can see Kyrie Long coming into play at this point, and they do need secondary help. I can see Daxton Hill coming into play at this point as well. Jermaine Johnson's out there. Jordan Davis is out there. What do you guys think?
I don't think they'll let Jordan Davis drop. So
Yeah,
guys,
so
you think
Jordan Davis? Yeah. Yep.
You got two of you think Jordan Davis?
Johnson.
All right. Kibo, we're going to overrule you, buddy. Sorry. I like the idea of Jermaine Johnson going to the Vikings, but we've got two guys going saying Jordan Davis, and I don't really have any feeling either way. I think the Vikings would like to go secondary because they really need that secondary help, but I think the value for either Jermaine Johnson or Jordan Davis is just too high to pass on, so we'll go Jordan Davis to the Vikings. Okay, Houston Texans. We got Houston Ahmad Gardner so far. Man, that's a team that could use a wide receiver as well. Let's see, Houston Texans.
Edge. Wide receivers, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, listen, it's not bad, but they could definitely add to it as well. Edge, cornerback, wide receiver, safety, and they have quarterback here. I don't think that's really a realistic option. I think they'll definitely be rolling with their third-round pick quarterback last year, Davis Mills, who had a very admirable year. So edge, I'm taking quarterback off the board for Houston. I don't see that as realistic. Edge, cornerback, wide receiver, safety. Edge, cornerback, wide receiver. Well, we got him a cornerback, so edge, wide receiver, safety. And I'll put offensive line up there on the board for Houston as well. You got Trevor Penning, who I think is pretty fair value at this point. Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green are two really good two really good guards. You got Linderbaum out there who's a center, but it doesn't appear that center's a need. Well, listen, they need edge and they need wide receiver and safety. Got Daxton Hill out there.
Daxton
Hill. We still have Jermaine Johnson out there. Stingley. Sorry, Nino. I think I gave Stingley to the Giants, Nino. Or Daxton Hill. Okay, he's saying Daxton Hill. Texans will grab either Jameson or the wide receiver, Jameson or Johnson with this pick. Most likely Johnson.
I can see Johnson.
Yeah,
I can see Johnson. That makes a lot of sense.
I like Jermaine Johnson here too. Malik Willis is getting closer and closer to the Steelers. All right, guys. So we went with Jermaine Johnson. I like him at Houston as well. All right, Baltimore Ravens.
I'd say Baltimore would just need a wide receiver. Like, it's going to draft a wide receiver like right now.
Well, they do need help actually this year on the offensive line. They've actually thinned out. And I agree with you. Listen, I think they could use another wide receiver as well. Definitely need another wide receiver, but they need a tackle. They need a guard, an offensive tackle. They need a guard, cornerback, defensive tackle, and wide receiver. Now, I'll say this about the Ravens. They can use another wide receiver. I agree with you, Chris, 100%. But the Ravens' MO, what they normally do is in the first round, they will usually go, almost always go, except for last year. They did take Bateman. That's right. They got Rashad Bateman last year. They took Bateman in the first round last year. Ravens usually either go defense or offensive line in the first round. Them taking Bateman last year, which was a great move on their part, was out of the ordinary for the Ravens. They're usually defense or offensive line, and they do need guard. They do need offensive tackle,
Right.
cornerback, defensive tackle. You got Karlaftis out here, but I think he's more of a 4-3 end, and the Ravens play a 3-4 defense. Trevor Penning is a nasty dude. I like a lot, and I think he's got Ravens written all over him. He just plays with nasty attitude. Zion Johnson's a really good guard. Kenyon Green's still out there. Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback. Daxton Hill can be a really good pick. Let's see, Ravens. Okay, Kibo's saying, whoops, sorry. Ravens would have taken Davis, but like the Steelers, they value their linebackers, and I think they'll go Lloyd or Wyatt. Wyatt, that's an interesting name. This big board has him further down, but this is a guy, Devontae Wyatt, who could easily go somewhere in the middle of the first round.
I could see that, and I hate the Ravens.
Yep. Let's see, but they really do value their secondary a lot. They do need offensive line help. I think the Ravens are going to be. Chris, what do you think? The Ravens also like to usually try to build their offensive line. They have taken offensive linemen in the first round, but I think they're usually very good at building it from like the second, third, fourth round picks, and fifth round picks, developing guys. Yeah, Kibo says Lloyd is a perfect fit for what they do at linebacker. That's a good point, Kibo. That's a good point.
I mean, if they can build their offensive line in later rounds, then they probably would go for secondary.
Yeah, they do need secondary help. Let's see, Daxton Hill's out there, Andrew Booth Jr.
I probably go Daxton.
Daxton? I'm kind of with you. What do you think, Johnny Trees?
Yeah, Daxton.
All right. Kibo, you make really, really good points. And Ravens are kind of like one of my backup teams to root for, but I know how much they value the secondary. And I'm gonna give him Daxton Hill. He's another dude, big thumper, but I think also fits their defensive scheme really well. Along with, like Kibo said, along with Lloyd, and Wyatt. I think those are two really good names. Yeah, Salyer. I like Salyer a lot, Kibo. I'm hoping he's there for my Giants, like in the third round. I don't know about second round, even though I have seen Salyer being mocked more and more in the second round. I'd like to. I'm hoping to fall to my Giants in the third round. Yep. Jamare Salyer, I think is his full name. Really pretty good guard prospect. All right, guys. So we are on to the Eagles. Here we go. Eagles. It's going to be their first pick. All right, Philadelphia. Cornerback, linebacker, safety, tight end, wide receiver. Cornerback, linebacker, safety, tight end, wide receiver. You got some good linebackers here. Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean. You got Andrew Booth Jr. at cornerback. Khairi Elam at cornerback. Trent McDuffie. I don't think there are Lewis Sine or Lewis Seen. He's a really good safety prospect. I can't see him going this high. Wide receiver is another team need.
Hey, guys, I have to hop off.
All right, Chris. Hey, man,
No
thanks
problem,
for
man.
being here. Really appreciate it. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, you too.
All right, take care. Enjoy the draft this weekend.
Have fun, Chris. Thank you for everything, man.
All right, Kibo's saying that his team will draft Karlaftis if he's there. Kibo, who's your team? Oh, I'm sorry, Eagles. Gotcha. All right, man. Sorry, I couldn't make out your emoji there too well. I wasn't too clear on my screen. Kibo is an Eagles fan. Kibo's saying Karlaftis. I think that's a good fit for the Eagles.
That's a
So
good
you know what?
pick.
I'm going to give you Karlaftis. I think it's
He's
really
been,
fair.
yeah, he's been pretty solid. So
Dude is like he's like the strongest defensive end. He's like the strongest edge in the draft. This dude is really strong, and he's got a lot of untapped potential.
Oh, Evan says. Steve says Lloyd.
Yeah, no, Lloyd I think would be a great fit for the Eagles too. There's a lot of good defensive players in the middle of this round right now. Karlaftis or Wyatt? Okay, well we got you Karlaftis, Kibo. We got you Karlaftis. All right, man. So listen, you got another pick coming up soon anyway. Do you believe? Yes, you do. All right, guys, we're on to the Saints. New Orleans Saints needs quarterback, offensive tackle, safety, running back. I can't see them going this high running back. Let's take that off the board for right now. Quarterback, offensive tackle, safety, wide receiver. Now, they made a trade with the Eagles, and I thought it was a masterful trade by the Eagles general manager, Kibo. Congratulations. How is it? Howie Roseman? Is that his name? The general manager for the Eagles? He's been doing a fantastic job manipulating these draft picks. He had 3 first-round picks this year originally. Now he's got 2 for this year and 2 for next year. The Saints traded away a first-round pick next year, so the Saints won't have any first-round picks next year. The Saints have 2 picks, which I would think they've got picks 16 and 19. I think they would have used that. They would have paired those picks, I think, to move up to get a quarterback this draft. It's the only thing that makes sense to me for giving away next year's first round pick to get 2 first round picks this year.
Yeah, but if they do that, what are they going to snag?
Quarterback. It's the only thing that makes sense. But
do you think
but like I said, though, we're not doing trades in this particular draft, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, would they go that high for, would they pick, pull those picks together for, like, Willis? I don't see that. Like, I see Pickett.
Maybe not Willis.
Above Willis.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's not necessarily Willis. Willis is not written in stone. He's probably the biggest. He's probably the biggest boom, boom or bust, prospect out there. But the thing is that when they made that trade with the Eagles, it's like, what's the point of giving away next year's first round pick? It really didn't make any sense to me unless they're going to package those picks this year to move up even further in this first round. But like I said, we're not doing trades in this particular draft. But it makes sense to me that they're looking to get a quarterback. All right, Kibo's saying I think the Saints will go Willis. So
let's be realistic. I think they're going to go Willis here.
Yeah, you almost made it. And if I was allowing trades, I would have allowed the Steelers to trade up to the Vikings, whoever, to get Willis. But there's some good quarterbacks waiting for you there, though.
Yeah, like Coach Chaps was like
Malik Willis.
Yeah, they think they were gonna take Ritter that high, but I don't see that. That's not like something the Steelers would do. The Steelers would draft for need. For another need. They wouldn't, take a risk on
but it's only
on a smaller division quarterback.
Here's the thing with Ritter, and it's only the 20th pick. It's only one first round pick. There are plenty of first round picks that bust, but it's the 20th pick. It's not like they're taking him top 5. It's the 20th pick. You don't have to take him. I mean, it's but you got Matt Corral out there too. Okay, Chargers. Chargers are up. So we gave Malik Willis to the Saints. And by the way, Kibo, I think your general manager is doing a masterful job running your team. Doing a great job restocking your team, the Eagles, who always kick my team's ass every year. It's the one team I fear are the Eagles. Okay, so the Chargers needs defensive tackle, tight end, guard, edge, cornerback. Take tight end off the board. I don't think first round, middle of first round is realistic for tight end at this point. So it's defensive tackle. Hello, Devontae Wyatt. Offensive guard, edge, cornerback. Defensive tackle, guard, edge, cornerback. Guard, you got Zion Johnson over here and Kenyon Green. Defensive tackle, you got Devontae Wyatt. You got Perry and Winfrey. I think Devontae Wyatt is going to go before Perry and Winfrey, regardless of who takes him. Let's see team needs again. Defensive tackle, guard, edge, cornerback. You got some good cornerbacks here too at this point. You got Andrew Booth Jr., Khair Elam, Trent McDuffie. What do you think?
Thanks, Kibo.
Kibo, take care, man. Have a great night. Really appreciate it, man. You were a lot of fun having in the chat, buddy.
Except using your French.
Kibo did say earlier they traded for ammunition to have the chance to trade up for Willis. I agree. Whether it's Willis or another quarterback, Willis makes the most sense to me. And he's talking about the Saints. He thinks they're going to take pick 6 and snag Willis over Atlanta. Yeah, I think they are going to package both those first round picks. It's the only thing that makes sense. And I believe they must have had that conversation already with at least a few teams about moving up to, moving their 16th and 19th pick, packaging to move up like well within the top 10. It's the only thing that makes sense. Yep, I agree. I agree with Kibo. Hey, Kibo, again, thanks a lot, man. All right, so let's try to motor through this a little bit. Again, they need guard, defensive tackle, cornerback. All right, you got Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green. You got Andrew Booth, Khair Elam, Trent McDuffie. You got Devontae Wyatt. What do you think?
I say they go cornerback here.
I think so too, John. I think so too. Let me know if anyone's chiming in the board, in the chats, that is. All right, so cornerback, let's choose. We got Andrew Booth, and we got Khair Elam and Trent McDuffie. You just want to go with the highest ranking one on this board?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Philadelphia Eagles. And Kibo left just before the Eagles' second pick. He was saying before, let's go back to what Kibo was saying before. It's Karlaftis or Wyatt. We already addressed the line with Karlaftis. John, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, who did he pick before? Was it Karlaftis?
Yes. Now, they needed cornerback, linebacker, safety, tight end, wide receiver.
They won't go tight end.
No.
I do think they need corner. So, who's the best available? Yeah.
Yeah. I could see them doubling down. I could see them going wide receiver, but they don't need to go in the first round wide receiver.
Drake London's still out there, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I think he is. Yes, he is. He's out there. Olave is out there. But I like that. I agree with you on cornerback. And I would think if Daxton Hill was still out there, got Lewis Sign still out there, but they do need cornerback help. What do you think? You think Khair Elam or Trent McDuffie?
McDuffie.
All right, we'll give him McDuffie. He's a nice piece. Trent McDuffie is a very, very versatile piece. He could probably play a little safety as well, but he can play outside corner. He can play slot corner as well. He's got some, and he plays the run very, very well too. Obviously, you want your cornerback to be able to protect against the pass first and foremost, but this is a dude who is not afraid to go in and get dirty. I like Trent McDuffie a lot. Okay, the Saints are picking again. Let's see, team needs. New Orleans Saints. Quarterback, we already got quarterback. Offensive tackle, Trevor Penning is still out there. Offensive tackle, Trevor Penning still out there. Safety, Lewis Sign is still out there. Running back, sounds too early for me.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
I can see them going to burner. Because they really, to match Malik Willis, you're going to need, a really deep threat, and that just makes the most sense to me.
Yep.
So,
well, listen, I agree. I think they'd go wide receiver at this point. You still got Jameson Williams out there too. I'm just pointing it out. Jameson Williams, Drake London, Treylon Burks. Those are your top wide receiver picks. Jameson Williams, Drake London, Treylon Burks. Who do you think?
I think Jameson Williams.
Let's give it to him. I like it. I like that pick, Johnny Trees. All right, your Steelers are up.
Yeah.
Steelers,
all right.
Johnny Trees. Hey, you got some decent quarterbacks to choose from, in my opinion.
All right.
Steelers. I'm sorry, team needs again. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Quarterback, tackle. Hello, Trevor Penning. Cornerback, wide receiver, safety. You got some really good players available. All right. You got Trevor Penning for offensive tackle.
Yeah, you know what? That makes the most sense. I tried to leave with my heart and thinking that they would pick a. I see what you're doing here, Joe. They gotta go tackle here because the offensive line was patchwork last year.
Yeah,
and they need. Listen, Najee Harris needs a wall to run behind, and you got a thoroughbred like that, man. And I got to watch him play this year. He was spectacular.
You know what? I think. Listen, I think. Oh no, I love Najee Harris. I loved when the Steelers took Najee Harris last year. I loved Najee Harris. I think Was that
Too
Steve?
soon.
Pickett. No, it's not. It's not. It's not too soon.
I
But
thought
no,
we.
what you're
I
saying,
thought he,
Johnny, what you're saying makes sense in terms of Trevor Penning is a mean dude, and I think he's got Baltimore or Pittsburgh written all over him.
yeah, that's just like,
He's nasty. This dude's nasty. You're gonna love him.
yeah. Pickett
So
was gone
Trevor Penning.
already, so like that's why I was saying too soon because like.
Oh yeah,
didn't-
Kenny Pickett. We gave
Yeah.
Steve, we gave Kenny Pickett to Carolina at number 6, first quarterback taken off the board. All right, so listen, you want Trevor Penning? I think
Yep,
it makes
let's do it.
sense. New England Patriots. New England
Oh,
Patriots team needs, and we never know what they're going to do. But let's see.
speaking of teams that walk like a fart in the
They need,
wind.
they need cornerback, running back, wide receiver, safety, defensive tackle. Hello, Devonta Wyatt.
Wyatt, that's a slam
Yep,
dunk at that point.
I think that is too. He can play nose. This guy can play nose.
Jameson's gone,
Devontae Wyatt, I agree. Let's see. Oh, Nino. Nino's a Patriots fan. Nino wanted Jameson. Nino, we gave Jameson to the Saints at pick 19. Well, we gave
Womp
to the
womp.
Saints, we gave at pick 16, I think it was, we gave the Saints Malik Willis. And then we gave the Saints at pick 19, I think it was, we gave them Jameson. So he's not there for the Patriots. I don't know, is wide receiver really a Patriots type of move in the first round? I mean, Nino knows better than I do, but I don't know. I think they should, they could really go for a stud wide
Nobody
receiver.
knows what the hoodie does because
Exactly.
the hoodie only knows what he does.
I'm sorry, Nino. There's no Jameson there, but I think Jameson should be the first wide receiver off the board in this draft. As long as the medicals look fine, I think he should be. But we did get you, Nino. It's okay. Don't cry, Nino. We got you, Devontae Wyatt. I think that's very much. We also could have given them Lewis Sign. That would have been a very Steelers, a very Patriots move as well. Lewis Sign. I'm sorry, Nino. All right, so let's move on. Let's see, Green Bay Packers. Ooh, they got to go wide receiver, and if they don't go wide receiver, malpractice. It really is. Wide receiver, linebacker, offensive tackle, cornerback, edge. Okay, I'd say the edges at this point I wouldn't take. You got Ebiketie out there from Penn State. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do Boye Mafe out of Minnesota this early either. I would take edge off the board so far. Cornerback, you do have Khair Elam, I believe. Linebacker, you got Nakobe Dean, and I think Devin Lloyd as well out there. But man, they need wide receiver. So we got Chris Olave out there. We got Devin Lloyd, Drake London, Treylon Burks, Khair Elam. What do you think?
I think Drake London.
Drake London? Let's make it happen. I'm with you. Arizona Cardinals. Team needs Arizona Cardinals. Cornerback, edge. Forget about tight end. We could start thinking about running back, I think at this point. I'll keep the running back in there as an option. Cornerback, edge, running back, tackle. I don't think there are really any tackles at this point. Bernard Raymond has been mocked as going like back end of the first round. I think it's a little too early for him. I think 23 is too high for Raymond. So you got cornerback. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at 49ers. Cornerback, edge, running back, tackle. Let's take tackle off the board for right now. Tight end off the board. Let's go with cornerback, edge, running back. There is an edge out there who is worthy of going number 23, and that's Ajabo.
Wasn't he
course.
like in one of the first mock drafts we did? Wasn't that one of the guys you wanted for your Giants?
I think it was probably like week 3, but at that point he had tore up his knee. Like he's probably not going to be playing until like early on. Steve, Joe, what site is this that you're using for this draft? I'm using PFN, Pro Football Network. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Dean is a stud. Drake can't fall that far. He might. Listen, I don't. I'll say this to people: don't be shocked if Olave goes ahead of Drake. Actually, in my opinion, I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if he does. Yeah, Sky. We'll see if we can get Sky for coach. I think that's a little too high for Sky Moore. Yeah, I don't think coach would want Sky that high in the first round either. When the Cowboys draft. Let's see. So we'll see, Nino. We'll see. All right. So again, let's keep it realistic for the Cardinals. I'm taking tight end off the board. I'm taking tackle. I think that's a reach at this point. So cornerback, edge, and running back. I'll keep running back in there. Cornerback, edge, running back. Let's see. Cornerbacks run type of thin, pretty thin at this point. Got Kyrie Lam out there.
I think we mocked him to them, like in one of or Booth Jr. as Nino just suggested.
Yeah. And Ajabo is out there. Brees Hall is out there, or some of the other running backs. Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker. I think it's a little too early. What do you think? You think Kyrie Lam?
Kyrie Lam, yeah.
Let's do it. Bam. All right, Dallas Cowboys. We got John has been really, really big on Zion Johnson. I'm sorry, not Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green. And they did move on from Amari Cooper, so they could use a wide receiver. I can't see them doing that in the first round this year, though. Me, myself. Team needs for Dallas. They do need offensive line help, though. They really do. Let's see. Dallas Cowboys. Safety. Lewis Sign is out there. Safety. Lewis Sign. Defensive tackle. I can't see them going defensive tackle right now. Linebacker, offensive tackle, and guard. So I think the tackle's off the board. Linebacker, you got Devin Lloyd still out there. N'Kobe Dean is still out there. But they took Parsons last year. I know Parsons is also playing edge, but still they do have him at linebacker still. Safeties out there, guard, offensive tackle. No offensive tackle's worth it. You want to go with guard like John has been wanting?
Yeah. Let's give Coach what he wants.
I'm going to give him Kenyon Green. I think it's very. And there's also Tyler Linderbaum out there too.
Nah.
Team needs they're not showing center as a team need. Let me double check. They're not showing center as a team need, so I'm not going to give him Tyler Linderbaum. I'll give him Kenyon Green, who he's loved a lot, and I don't blame him. Did I pass him already? Kenyon Green, there he is. All right, we'll give him Kenyon Green. I think it's very realistic. Buffalo Bills. John, you live in Buffalo Bills territory.
Unfortunately.
What are you hearing? What inside info do you have? Juicy inside info do you have, Johnny?
That Bills fans are delusional. No. Come at me. Yeah, I've been saying all along they need a running back. And like all my Bills fans friends were like, yeah, you're right. And then, like I had one person be like, no, I think Singletary's great. He's coming into his own. He did the last 5 games. And I'm like, but it wasn't efficient. Like
he's not a true number one. He's like a complimentary piece, He's a nice
and there's no way Moss is. I mean, those two together just don't work. It didn't work last year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I honestly think that the Bills will go running back here because they need to
they need to do something. What? I don't think it shows edge. They've really stocked up at edge with young edges over the past few years. I don't think they'd go edge right now. I do think guard is a real possibility. It's shown as a team need. And you got Zion Johnson out there. And they really are like a 70% passing team.
And honestly, they're going to get to the point with Allen. They're going to get to the point with Allen where they cannot let him run as much.
Yeah.
The more he spends in the career, I really just don't think that it's gonna happen. So guard does make sense.
Look at what Nino's saying. Can you imagine him, Burks, playing opposite on the opposite, on the outside boundary of opposite from Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, I mean
Whoa.
they could do that. They need
They
another
have
corner
Gabriel
because
Davis though.
yeah, and
I
Gabe
don't think
Davis
there.
blew up.
Yeah, I don't think there are. Yes, he did. I don't think there are cornerbacks really. We took like the. You know what? We already wiped out the first round cornerbacks. I can't see them going running back, even though I'd like to see them to get a real running back. I can't see them doing that in the first round because they are a seriously pass heavy team. Um, what do you think? Do you think Zion
Gabe is a
Johnson?
one-hit wonder. I, I'll go
Hmm.
off on a tangent
He
about the
is the
Bills.
Z. He
I
is the
gotta be
Z.
careful what I say.
Yep. Gabriel Davis is the Z wide receiver. And Nino says Gabe is one hit wonder. Nino, you're a Patriots fan. I think that might be wishful thinking on your part. Nino is a very, very knowledgeable football fan. He and Big John, who's doing the show with me right now, are two great additions to our Toilets and Titles team. But Nino, I think that might be just the Patriots fan in you, just talking. I don't know, man. As someone like myself who's a Giants fan, I've got no dog in that. I've got no beef in that fight. Gabriel Davis looked friggin' phenomenal to me in last year's playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know, man.
I gotta tell you, and again, I'll go off on the Bills, Bills Mafia and all that hot garbage over there in Orchard Park. But I will say, I will say, I love the animosity between Patriot fans and Bills fans because
Love the
Patriots
rivalry.
fans have Patriots fans have this we're better than you, and like the Bills will be like, oh well, we beat you twice this year. That's
Yeah, right. Hey, man, you
it's
gotta love the
just
rivalries. I love it. I love
yeah,
it. And we'll see what
yeah.
happens if the Dolphins are good this year, if they start living up to expectations. Could
I
be an
contend
interesting
they
AFC
they,
East.
they gave to the offense of a Ferrari. He's
We'll
gonna
see.
perform like a Yugo.
I'm glad. I'm glad to see he's getting at least one more chance to prove himself. I am glad to see that. I am glad. But that guy's got to stay healthy. All right, so let's make a pick for Buffalo. What do you say, Zion Johnson?
Let's go guard.
Okay, and Zion Johnson is. I love that guy. I love that guy. That's a good pick for the Bills. Tennessee Titans. I really haven't paid attention to Tennessee. I got to say
Yeah.
this offseason. Linebacker, I'm still not going tight end, even though I could start thinking it's a possibility. I'm not going to include tight end. Aha! Linebacker, center. We got Linderbaum still out there.
Linderbaum.
Edge, yeah, edge. Who Ajabo's out there. Cornerback. We took the big cornerbacks off the board. So what do you think? You think Linderbaum,
I
Devin
think
Lloyd,
Linderbaum.
Nakobe Dean? Linderbaum? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey
Okay,
Nino,
Buccaneers.
we should do a podcast. Side note, we should do a podcast about the AFC East, and I'll just scoff on the Bills the entire time.
Oh, look at Nino. You're telling me Jameis? I cannot go along with that, Jameis. Jameson Crowder is not better than Gabe.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
Jameson Crowder, quite frankly, is kind of down there with Corey Davis. I've never been a Jameson Crowder guy myself. That's just me. I know other people like him more than me, but I've never been a Jameson Crowder guy. Let's go. No way Titans let Linderbaum or Lloyd fall. Yeah, listen, I think
Yeah,
they could use
Linderbaum.
linebacker. And I wouldn't be surprised, given that Mike Vrabel is their really good head coach, I wouldn't be surprised if they go Lloyd or Nakobe Dean at that point. But I can't see Linderbaum continuing to fall. And I saw the Titans had a need at center, so we decided to give him Linderbaum. But they
There you
can't go
go.
wrong either way. All right, so let's pick for the Buccaneers. We're at pick
The
27.
Buccaneers.
Who really don't have many holes. I guess they could possibly use a wide receiver now that they still have Evans and Godwin.
Now that Antonio,
He could wind up being back. You never know, especially with what's his name, Bruce Arians being gone. Maybe he'll wind up being back. But running back, we could say running back is definitely in play for Tampa Bay. Defensive tackle, quarterback, I don't think so.
no.
Cornerback, offensive guard. Um,
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I think Carson Strong ends up at Tampa.
you know what? I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Yeah, listen, I agree. I think Jameson Crowder is, I think he's like yeah, and he's not young at this point either. I've never been into Jameson Crowder myself, so let's go. But I know a lot of people like him more. Not, no one thinks Jameson Crowder's great. No one thinks he's great, but a lot of people I think see him, even as better than I do. And I've always been very low on Jameson Crowder. Just Bucks definitely grab Lloyd. Yeah, you do have really good linebackers here. Top tier player to eventually replace. Well, Lloyd is a linebacker, a sideline to sideline linebacker. JPP is edge. So two different players, two different types of players. Kibo. Um, they can't. That's a great point, man. That's a great point. Let's start looking at linebacker for. I do like that out of John. I do like that out of the box thinking though. Carson Strong for the Buccaneers. I kind of like that. I do like
Yeah.
that. They did take what's his name, Trask from Florida a few years ago, like 2 years ago, but I don't think he's going to wind up being much. I kind of like that though. But you know what? All right, let's do. You know what? Hot take McBride to the Bucks. Dino. We can't start thinking about McBride to the Bucks at this point. Uh, Kiba, who are you thinking about when you say they'll make him fit? You're talking about Lloyd? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about, Kiba? Are you talking about Lloyd? Man, McBride to the Bucks, huh? Hmm. Man, I'm all over the place. You know what? I'm gonna have him stocking up on defense. I'm gonna look at defensive tackle. Perry and Winfrey's out here. I don't think defensive tackle is listed as a need though. It is. It is. But you know what, man? You got linebackers out there. All right, I'm going to give him Devin Lloyd. There we go. I am going to give him Devin Lloyd. But John, I like that Carson Strong call to the Buccaneers. I thought that was actually it kind of makes sense. I kind
Put
of
it on
like
the
it.
bathroom board, coach.
Yeah, I like it because you know what? They get a potential starter at the back end of the first round with a year to sit on the bench, at least a year to sit on the
Hmm.
bench and learn from behind Brady. I like that a lot. John, I like that a lot. Damn, you know what? Now I regret doing that. If I could go back and erase that pick, give him Carson Strong, I would
Not
do it.
that high though. Isn't he like a second or third rounder? Like,
Listen, he is a guy. This quarterback class is not much differentiating your number one quarterback pick, whoever that is, and like the number six, which is like strong. There's
yeah.
really, he might be the best pure pocket passer in the draft. Um, I thought that was a pretty cool idea, John. All right, Green Bay is up again. We got them a wide receiver before. Again, wide receiver, linebacker, N'Kobe Dean is out there. Tackle, we can start thinking Bernard Raymond at this point. Um, Cornerback, edge. Oh, Ajabo's out there. My man
I
Ajabo.
think a Jabo would be a great fit.
Ebiketti's out there. Let's see what Nino's saying. Carson statue strong. Hey, listen, man. There've been most great quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. Nino have been so-called statues. But listen, if he's got a good quarterback coach, and they do have a good quarterback coach, right? They've got who was the guy who should have been the head coach of the Jaguars this year? Brian Leftwich. He could teach Carson Strong how to manipulate that pocket, man. Let's see. Carson statue strong. Well, statues do tend to be strong. What are you thinking over here for Green Bay? I don't think they're going to go double down wide receiver in the first round. I don't think that's
No, as much
realistic.
as Nate Dirt wants it to happen, it's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
you got N'Kobe Dean. Again, team needs wide receiver. We already did that. So linebacker, tackle. I'll say Bernard Raymond's out there.
Hmm.
Linebacker, tackle, cornerback, edge. Um, N'Kobe Dean's out there.
I think
Ajabo,
N'Kobe Dean or
Ebiketti,
Jabo.
and Bernard Raymond
I think a Jabo.
and Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith is really, really raw. All right, we'll give him a Jabo. Okay, Kansas City Chiefs back-to-back picks. Oof.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver, safety, edge,
We
cornerback,
gave Drake London, right?
tight end. Drake London is gone, but there's some good wide receivers. We got safety, wide receiver, edge, cornerback, tight end. All right,
I
you
think
got Chris
Olave, if he's
Olave,
still there. Yep, Chris Olave for one.
Treylon Burks. All right, let's do Chris Olave. Let's not give them another wide receiver. They do need safety. They do need cornerback.
Ooh, Nino brought up Pickens, but I don't think we can't undo that pick.
Oh, Daxton Hill's gone, Nino. I forgot where it went. Pickens. Oh, wait, Dean for who? Dean for the Chiefs? Then that's not showing as a need. Let's see. Yeah, Pickens. Well, we just gave them Chris Olave. Daxton Hill is gone. Sorry, man. Sorry. Okay, Dean for Green Bay. It's not showing as a need. It was Dean for Green Bay. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, Nino. All right. Well, we gave him a Jabo. Sorry. All right. So Kansas City. Maybe Lewis Sign, safety,
Yeah, give him Lewis
or
sign.
Jaquan Brisker. Let's give him Lewis Sign. All right. Okay. Cincinnati. We're almost done here. Cincinnati Bengals. Team needs.
The Bungles.
The Bungles. Let's see. Offensive tackle. You got Bernard Raymond out there. Center.
Raymond.
Forget about center. Safety. You got Jaquan Brisker out there. And defensive tackle. You got Perry and Winfrey.
Raymond. Raymond's an obvious fit.
Yeah, they've got.
Especially in that division when you go up against Watt and.
Yeah. Let's see. They've got this big board now has Tyler Smith ahead of Raymond. I don't believe that. I think they're wrong on that. I'll give them Bernard Raymond. They got to protect their quarterback. All right, last pick, first round. Detroit Lions team needs wide receiver, quarterback, linebacker, edge, safety. But they'll also be picking. I think the Lions would be picking again in the beginning of the second round too. So they wouldn't have to take a quarterback here, but they got some good ones to choose from. Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, Carson Strong. You also have, though, let's see, Treylon Burks, Nakobe Dean.
I think Burks.
Let's do it. I could see. Let's do it. Treylon Burks. We're done. All right, full results. All right, so here are the full results. We got Equanu going to the Jaguars. Yeah, go for it. Thanks, man. All right, final results. We got Equanu, surprise, going number 1 overall to the Jaguars. Hutchinson to the Lions. Gardner to the Texans. Trayvon Walker to the Jets at number 4. Charles Cross going to the Giants at number 5. Kenny Pickett, first quarterback taken off the board, going to the Carolina Panthers. Derek Stingley Jr. going to the Giants at 7. Kayvon Thibodeau falling to 8, going to Atlanta. Evan Neal falling to number 9, Seattle. Garrett Wilson, first wide receiver off the board. Garrett Wilson going to the Jets at number 10. Kyle Hamilton giving the Washington Commanders some of the secondary help they need big time. Jordan Davis going to Minnesota, first defensive tackle taken off the board. Jermaine Johnson falling to Houston. Jermaine Johnson, in my opinion, can easily go as high as number 4 in this draft. He goes number 13 to Houston. Daxton Hill going to Baltimore. Congratulations, Baltimore. You just got a great safety. George Karlaftis going to Philadelphia. Really nice fit for Philadelphia. George Karlaftis. Malik Willis going to New Orleans. And I think they're going to be gunning for him. I think New Orleans is going to be looking to package their 2 first-round picks, looking to trade up for Malik Willis. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Unless they really like Kenny Pickett or another quarterback. But Malik Willis makes the most sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it only makes sense that they gave up next year's first round pick for a second first round pick this year. It only makes sense that they were going to package these 2 picks to move up. And I think they must have already been in talk with a few teams within the top 8 or 7 to possibly move up for Malik Willis. That's the trade they made with Philadelphia still shocks me. It really does. But we've got Malik Willis going to New Orleans somehow, any which way. But we have him going number 16 to New Orleans. Andrew Booth Jr. to San Diego at 17. San Diego gets the cornerback help they need. Trent McDuffie. This is a guy that I love a lot. Very, very versatile cornerback. going to Philadelphia. The Eagles fans are going to like him a lot. Jameson Williams going to New Orleans. Jameson Williams, I think, should be the first wide receiver off the board in this draft, assuming his medicals look good. Assuming his medicals look good and he's on track to heal just, A-okay, I think he should be the first wide receiver off the board in this draft. He goes to New Orleans at 19, though. Trevor Penning, very much a Steelers player. John Oakes, if you guys got Trevor Penning, you're going to love this guy. One angry dude. He plays beyond the whistle. You're going to love him. Throwing defensive linemen all over the place. Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle going to Georgia. I think that's very much a New England Patriots move, Devontae Wyatt. Drake London. Congratulations, Packer fans like Nate. Drake London going to Green Bay.
Nate gets his running back or his wide receivers.
Absolutely. We got him one wide receiver this time. We didn't double down. We got him one wide receiver. Kyrie Lam going to Arizona. They need cornerback help. They got it. Kyrie Lam. Kenyon Green. Congratulations, coach. You got Kenyon Green yet again. And I think he probably is going to be there for Dallas at number 24. And he's going to be great help for that offensive line. New good blood injected into that offensive line in Dallas to keep that offensive line strong like they've been for a long, long time. Zion Johnson going to the Bills. Back-to-back guards. I love Zion Johnson. Going to be a really good fit for Buffalo. Tyler Linderbaum. I think this is realistic. I think Linderbaum can fall to number 26. He can go anywhere, I think, from like pick number 10 to somewhere in the first round. I can't see him falling out of the first round. I've seen that in some mock drafts, but I just can't believe that. I can't believe that at all. Teams really like this guy a lot. You just have to decide whether or not some teams might not feel he's worth a top 10 pick, understandably. But number 26 to a team that apparently needs a center at Tennessee, that's great value. Devin Lloyd going to Tampa Bay. I can see them restocking, trying to replenish their defense a little bit. Because like was pointed out by someone in the one of our viewers in the chat before, they're not going to be able to keep all their linebackers over the next few years. And Devin Lloyd is great value at 27. We got Ajabo going to Green Bay at number 28. We got Chris Olave going to Kansas City. They get a new wide receiver to play with here, and back-to-back picks. They got Chris Olave and safety Lewis Cine. Congratulations! I love this dude. Kansas City Chief fans, you're going to love him too. Bernard Raymond going to the Bengals. Hello, Joe Burrow. We got some offensive line help here to help protect you. And then the last pick of the first round, Treylon Burks going to Detroit. They get some wide receiver help there to play alongside their promising second-year wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they're building a nice wide receiver core there in Detroit. Johnny, what do you think of this draft? I think we did a really nice job.
Well, this is what, my fifth or sixth one. I think we were pretty consistent. We were pretty consistent with it. And I think that we had a lot of the same needs going, to the same team. So I think overall, this should be how things play out, but it's the NFL draft. Who knows what happens.
If all the 32 general managers and owners out there and head coaches, if they're watching this podcast right now, they've got the roadmap to success. We just gave it to them, Johnny Oakes.
There you go.
Gave it to them.
We are the guys.
And then the help of Nino and Chris's videos and
Kivo, man.
And
Kivo came
out
strong, man. Do not be a stranger, my man.
Yep. All right. Yeah. And Steve Evans as well. So everyone's helping us out. Come here. We'll give you the roadmap to success, NFL GMs.
Absolutely.
All right. John, it's been great, man. Thanks so much. It's been awesome doing this program with you. And John and I are in the future are going to be doing quite a bunch of programs together. We're working on stuff to do so. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Tomorrow night, tune in. We have a huge draft special.
Yep.
We can't air it online, but we're gonna all be we'll have prop bets. We'll have over unders on how many hokey crowd shots, how many times Goodell tries to play the crowd being the unlikable idiot he is. It's gonna be fun.
Guys, we've got a big round one extravaganza tomorrow night. Tune in slightly before the draft starts. Tune in, big extravaganza.
I will tell you, Yep, I will tell you real quick. If the Steelers draft the quarterback that I want,
Uh-huh.
there might be a party. There might be lights going off in here. Who knows?
You
Who knows
should,
what I
man.
have set up?
I think
So-
you're going to get him. I got to go. My bladder's ready to burst. I've been drinking ice coffee for the past 2 hours. Everyone, adios. Take care.
You guys have a great one.